Hey Sharon, how you doing?
Good, good.
So, quick question for you. Uh, Assignment sales.
hmm
Is now a good time to look for an assignment sale? Are there some great deals out there with the high interest rates? Maybe people can't qualify to close when they bought like a year or two ago.
Well, let's follow the footpath. When they bought, so the prices have been very high the last 3, 4 years. I mean, a great escalation.
Mhm.
And during that time, builders were selling in a frenzy. Okay, so we had communities of 30,000 population at a time going into these new builds at each phase. So, and there are multiple phases. So anyway, a lot of people bought those as investment properties. So they bought it at that price with the intention of selling it. So with an assignment sale, remember that you need more money. So it's tough for, say, the first time buyer. It's great for someone who has a really good cash flow. So there are things that it's not that it can't be done. You're just going to have to be really extra careful. I personally have more red flags with that right now because when those homes were bought, they were bought at a much higher price than the market could hold for today. So now that they're selling, because the builder's cost went up, remember that the price of the houses went down on the resale. And this is something to really distinguish here. On the resale, the market was suppressed by the moves that they made with the interest rates and stuff, but the builders still had to pay. And in fact, because of the shortage in labor, shortage in materials, it cost them more to build these homes. So even if you're buying a new build right now, it's just a straight new build right from the builder. We are not getting, we're having to be careful because some people, even with a new build, they take it to their lender and they're not getting financing. Or when they bought it, they could get financing, but now they want to close on it. They can't get the financing because the appraiser evaluates the home and it doesn't have the same value.
Well, that's what I was thinking. Like, if the home is worth, let's say it was worth 700,000, now it's worth 500,000, wouldn't the person with the assignment, because they're legally obligated to close, wouldn't they sell the price at sell the house or the condo at a discount?
There is the options here and there that it can happen, but if they do that, they're not even probably recouping what they bought it at and the amount of money that they put in. They're taking it at a loss. So that's not going to be their first route to go to. They're not putting it up.
Do they have if they can't get financing for it?
If you will look on the market, you will see some assignment sales there that have been sitting for a long time. Consider right now that a resale, it can sit for a couple of months. These assignments have been sitting for longer than that. People are, number one, afraid to touch them because they're not sure about the value in it. Mm-hmm. So if you were taking value for value right now, if you can afford to buy a house, you will buy resale because there was no more labor materials. If you renovated a home, yes, there's cost of labor material. But if that home is maintained and in good shape and you're selling it, there's a lot more leverage for your price now. And the sellers are not taking a loss. They're getting it sold and the buyers are getting the benefit of it. New build that was done 2-3 years ago, a lot of people are having trouble getting money. In addition, the builders will come back and whoever the owner is of that property that holds a piece of paper for that home, the builder's coming back and saying, hey, we need another $100,000 to finish building your home.
Sure, but if the house is worth less than it was when they bought it,
but it's costing them $100,000 more to build. So there is issues.
So why wouldn't the buyer just take that excuse to back out and say, okay, well,
they will, and then the builder will resell it.
But they're not going to get that price that they're asking for because
they're not going to get that price they're asking for, but it will still be higher. So the prices we're finding right now is higher. I've had clients who I'm watching them and just kind of sat on the fence the last 2 years. And now they're looking at it going, forget it. We'll just take what they're going for. The hot spot right now is going for the new, the 0 to 5 year old homes because they're already built. We already know if there's already an established value. They've already adjusted to the market. They're good to go. It can be done very cautiously, and people are more scared of it because they're not sure that even when they do buy it, is it discounted enough, because the lenders are coming down heavy on it.
Right. Well, I mean, I know from my perspective as a mortgage agent that, you know, if you get the house appraised at 500,000 and it costs 700,000, then you have to come up with that additional 200,000. The lender's not going to loan on the value that they don't see as being there.
And that's what I'm saying. You have to be extra cash heavy during this time, even more than before.
But you're saying there's not like a ton of people that are just like having a fire sale because they have no choice.
Not yet. What I've had so far, there are some that will eventually sell. But again, everything that would be sold, especially new, would be well over the $1 million mark. Mostly. Okay, I'm not saying all of it, but mostly. And of course, as you know, the mortgages are harder to get even on a resale when it's over $1 million. So because the builders are higher priced to begin with than resales now, it makes it really difficult.
For sure.
So there's a lot more uncertainty. We'll look at them with you. I won't say no outright. I'll look at it all with you, but it's your situation. I will tell you, you need a lot of extra money in your pocket to make it happen.
Right. Okay. So maybe if you're an investor and have a lot of money, then you can, you know, you've got a motivated seller potentially, but
they'd have to be really motivated. I'm actually seeing now for the first time since I can remember when, that the best way they're getting their assignments sold is that they're having to take to close it.
So
they're closing the financing on it, so they're taking a position of the home, but no one has moved in. So it's not an assignment anymore. It is still a new build, and no one hasn't moved in. When I get those, they are a bit easier because they've already settled with their lender.
Okay.
So some of them it's a short-term mortgage or whatever to get the house sold, but they've done something so that they can close it with the builder.
Okay.
Now they're turning around and selling it as a resale, and depending what their leniency is there, we can get it at a reasonable price. It will still be more money than a resale, and it will still be more money than the 0 to 5 year olds.
Yeah, I mean, you can't forget the Terrian warranty and so forth that is not on a older house. So.
Exactly. So you can get it, and and I've had a few of those this month in particular. In February, I've seen a larger number than I have ever seen of where they have closed it with the builder to stop to not lose it, and then they put it on the market, and they are looking for a fast resale. It is lower than it would have been, and sometimes that in that pocket we can find it, because at that point, as long as the numbers line up with the appraiser, you can go in with your regular down payment.
Well, I guess this is another situation of, be very, very careful when you're buying from a builder, because they can just jack the price on you, and you have to close or lose your deposit and potentially be sued if you don't, if they haven't raised the price, because obviously if they're raising the price, they're changing the contract. But the market can change, and you could be stuck with a house that's worth less than you paid for it.
Less than you paid for it, and the builder's still needing more money to complete because the labor has gone up and materials. So the scarcity thing that applies there, is for real a risk. But these are things that, at least with my own clients, I advise them all those things even before we go out and look at a property. As soon as we start talking that, and early on in the conversation, we cover those topics in more detail. For some, they are risk adverse, and they can make it happen, but a lot can't. You need more money. You need more cash.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I was thinking that maybe there were some real bargains out there, but well, at least not in the assignment category. Well, thanks a lot, Sharon. And if you enjoyed this video, please make sure that you click on like and subscribe below.
That's right. We'll be updating regularly. Thank you, Rick. Take care.
Have a good one. You too.